Redskins takes the second half kickoff at the 8. And a lot of success in the first half. That is out of bounds by Everson Walls at about the 35. And again, Jenkins does a good job, a return of 27.
There was Tom Landry just as a half ended when Rafael Septien kicked that field goal. You don't see that happen too much. Now, as quickly as he realized that he caught himself, said you can't be smiling on the field, even though you're ahead 16-0.
Not at the half. When it's over, maybe you smile. Redskins will start to operate from their own 35. George Rogers behind Jay Schrader. 16-0 Dallas. Fake to Rogers. Schrader hit by Jones. Completes the pass to Clark nevertheless, and it'll be a Redskin first down. Schrader got up and patted, hit Jones on the back after he decked him.
I'll tell you, Too Tall starts to rush against May. May lets him go on trying to pick up a stunt, and that's the next thing Jay Schrader sees.
First down, Redskins. They move up to their own 46. Clark wide left. Monk in the slot. Didier wide right. Straight ahead is Rogers, and Rogers gets about 8. Mike Hegman finally tripped him up.
That was the old quick trap up the middle. You know, you don't see that much anymore, where the left guard comes across and traps the first man on the other side of the center. There was a quick trap where Russ Grimm came across and trapped John Dutton, and Rogers just split that trap. Well, that used to be a big play.
That's when everybody played a 4-man front.
And everyone would trap that middle in there.
Right. Walls comes out with Clark. Didier comes back in the backfield. Rogers again straight ahead into Dallas territory. Another Redskin first down before he is stopped by Jeff Rohr.
Hey, Jeff Rohr was the outside linebacker in that right side, and he came flying across the line of scrimmage. Came from the outside all the way to the inside. You know, if I told you there's one Cowboy that wears an earring, the only Cowboy that's ever worn an earring under Tom Landry, who would you guess it would be?
I wouldn't guess it's number 50, but it is.
But it is.
Schrader back to throw. He's going to be chased by Jeffcoat. And he has to ground it. Now for the latest on the Reagan Gorbachev talks in Iceland, let's go to CBS News.
This is a CBS News special report. This has been a CBS News special report.
Back at Texas Stadium, the Redskins on the move. They have a first down, or they had a first down at the Dallas 22. Now it's 2nd and 4. Cowboys lead the Redskins 16-0. But the Redskins on the move. Schrader has hit Didier for the big first down and just hit Clark. Didier is split wide to the left this time, and Clark is to the right. Handoff Rogers. Rogers pounds down to about the 10. That should be enough for another Redskin first down. Mike Hegman made the stop, a gain of 4 for Rogers, and it's just outside the 10. That should be a first.
Yeah, that was one of the things we talked about before the half that I've always felt the Redskins do so well is adjust at halftime, and now they've come out. The first time they got the ball, they have good mixture. They've gotten some running going in there. They're trapping and running inside now. They got their pass going. They finally got it to Didier. I think they're getting on page now.
First and 10, just outside the 10. Rogers the home setback. Out in the flat to Didier, and Didier is down. Tackled by Vince Albritton at about the 3.
You know, that's one of the big things. You know, last year it seemed like it was blitzing was a big thing. This time it seems to be the crossing patterns, you know, and getting the, you know, the big guy out there, the crossing patterns, and more deep passing this year than we saw last year.
Didier is is a big guy. 6'5", 240, 2nd and 2. Redskins go with 3 tight ends. And Rogers is the setback. Here was the move man. Rogers hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe got a yard. Ed Jones and Randy White.
The guy who made that play was Too Tall Jones, because the thing you have to do offensively is you can't allow penetration. The thing on defense, you want to get penetration. Watch 72 right here in front. See, he's right here. He gets penetration, and then the play doesn't have a chance. Watch Too Tall Jones. See him get penetration in there? See, he was 3 yards in the Redskin backfield.
3rd and 1. Rogers deep. Warren in front of it. Rogers. Touchdown. George Rogers from 2 yards out puts the Redskins on the scoreboard. And it's 16-6.
You know, I think that's a great example of penetration and no penetration. And the first play, you saw the penetration, and the Redskins couldn't get anything. Now watch this right side of the line here. You get May, you get McKenzie, you get Didier, you get no penetration. And then you take your big back and run it right in behind that. That's pretty good blocking over there. But they had a tackle, a guard, and a tight end.
A pretty good drive. Mosley for the extra point. And he missed it. Mosley wide left with the extra point. Oh, these are days of misery. Here's the touchdown again. Charlie, give me an unlikely hero in this fierce rivalry as Clint Longley came off the bench to lead Dallas to a come-from-behind victory with this 50-yard bomb to Drew Pearson with 28 seconds left in the game. Well, I'll never forget that day. George Allen was on the sideline, didn't know who Clint Longley was, asking people, what is a Longley?
I'll tell you, and George never forgot that play. I remember talking to George after that game, and he said, we had the right defense. We had that guy doubled. Yeah, we had him inside out. He said, what more can you ask for? Having him doubled, and that's the guy they throw to.
Here's Steve Cox to kick off. And it's aimed at Robert Levette, 2 yards deep in the end zone, and he will remain there. They'll bring it out to the 20. Next week, as we approach the halfway mark of this season, the 67th NFL season, the Cowboys will visit Philadelphia. That won't be a friendly visit. Chicago, Minnesota, St. Louis, Washington, Green Bay at Cleveland. And then John and I make the trek to Seattle. The Giants will be there against the Seahawks. Today we're at Texas Stadium. 16-6. The Cowboys lead the Redskins, the unbeaten Redskins. Renfro is the move man, splits wide to the left. Newsom and Dorsett on the Cowboys' first series of the second half. Dorsett was the intended receiver. Calvin Daniels was involved in the pass coverage. Pelluer just overthrew it. Cardinals looking for their first win against Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and that jet score was surprising. You know, they're doing that with their starting quarterback O'Brien out. They say got another Irish guy in there, Ryan. Ryan replaces O'Brien.
And they have Richard Todd now backing him up. 2nd down and 10 for the Cowboys. Dorsett over to the sideline and Herschel Walker in his place. Renfro left, Tony Hill right. Crosby, his first catch of the day. A gain of about 7 or 8. Ken Coffey on the stop.
That's one of the things that the Cowboys really haven't been doing, is using Crosby much in the pass offense this year. This is only his 10th pass that he's caught all year. And every other year, he'd kind of be the #1 receiver, but they'll have on every pattern like a 1-2-3 read, and Crosby is never the 1 or 2 read. It seems like he's always the 3rd guy this year.
That's sort of the Paul Hackett, Bill Walsh philosophy.
Yeah, that the tight end is never a big part of that pass offense. It's a wide receiver and running back passing game.
Redskins showed a blitz. Pelluer fields the blitz, gets away from one, finally is slung down by Dexter Manley. That's the first time. Rich Millott led the charge.
Well, Millott was the guy, number 57, who wasn't blocked. He came from the right side, and he was free all the way. The Cowboys didn't pick him up. He's the guy who gets here. Watch him here. He's here. He comes from this side. No one blocks him, and he makes Pelluer go forward. But watch Millott, the outside guy. Here he comes in the blitz. He was the next guy in there, but no one blocked him, and then that forced Pelluer up and into the defensive line.
Saxon back to kick. Doesn't get it all. Jenkins will field it at his own 31. Cowboys down in a hurry. Jenkins gets away from a bunch, and Jeff Rohr takes him down. Redskins will have it in pretty good shape. Their own 45, trailing 16-6. 46-yard punt. And Jenkins again with a good return. Manley.
Hi, Glenda. Derek. Dexter. Dallas. Hello, everybody.
Dexter will shake a hand and say hello, won't he?
Well, when you break a record and you know you're a rush man and you pride yourself in being a pass rusher and you break a record, you got a lot of people to say hello to.
With that last sack, Dexter breaks Dyron Talbert's all-time Redskin record for sacks. So he's got reason to be happy, except that they're behind by 10. Here's the handoff to Rogers over the left side, and he batters for about 5.
No, it was interesting, Pat, on that last Redskin drive, they had 5 first downs coming out of halftime. In the first half, they only had 6 first downs altogether. I think that they got the thing going. They probably decided we have to go back to running. We want to work the inside of that defense and then work the ball around pass and try and get it to guys like Didier and so on.
2nd and 5, just over 7 minutes left, third quarter. Redskins at midfield. Schrader back to throw. Outside Clark again. And Fellows again is there to make the stop. But Clark will have another Washington first down, a gain of 6.
There was a question yesterday as to whether Ron Fellows would be playing today. Tom Landry thought he had the flu. Then when they went and checked it out, he had fluid on his knee. He didn't practice. And they found out that, I guess the fluid got off the knee a little, so he's okay today, and it doesn't look like it's bothering him.
Didier goes out wide to the left, and Downs goes out there with him. This is Clark in motion. First down, Redskins at the Cowboy 45. Schrader comes on a spread out and finds Art Monk. Maybe a yard shy of another first down. Vince Albritton is there along with Ron Fellows.
That's that play that they call speed. It's a form of a sprint out, and it's called speed right or left. Everyone blocks. Now watch him. He's going to come out to his right. Everyone's going to block. The back blocks, the tight end blocks here, and the onside see him. He only has 2 receivers out there, 1 short and 1 deep. He gets a good clean read, and he hit Art Monk on that one.
2nd and 2 at the Dallas 36. Rogers has another Redskin first down, a gain of 3 before Jeff Rohr makes the stop.
That's a tight formation you don't see too much. It was an I formation from the Redskins. They've been doing a little of that with Don Warren in the backfield.
Rogers came up limping.
Usually it's a 1-back, but now this guy right here is Donnie Warden. Now he's the lead blocker for Rogers. You usually only see the 1 guy back there.
Schrader has him out in a hurry. 1st and 10. Dallas 33. Back to throw. Got a man. Oh, just over the head of Art Monk. Everson Walls was behind by about a step and a half.
Oh, and Schrader hates that. The same thing happened. He had one like that last week against New Orleans. When you got your guy, you got to play. There's no safety in there. It's 1-on-1. Your guy got their guy beat, and you don't get it there. I'll tell you, that's a frustrator for a quarterback.
This, of course, has been a historic weekend in Iceland, and because of the importance of those discussions between President Reagan and Soviet leader Gorbachev, we'll be hearing from CBS News throughout the day of the latest developments at the summit in Iceland. Right now, it's 2nd and 10 for the Redskins. Monk goes in motion. A couple of fake moves, and Schrader is back to throw. Outside Griffin, incomplete. The throw was low.
I think Schrader got so upset at himself by having Monk open on the touchdown that showed on that play. You know, there was just a little screen, and you know, and he shouldn't have had trouble with that. But sometimes, you know, when you get excited, you tighten up a little. Then when you tighten up a little, the toughest thing to throw is that little touch pass.
George Rogers, I mentioned before, he was limping after his last carry. Over on the bench, they're checking. He appears to be okay. Keith Griffin has replaced him. Back is Schrader. Going deep again and down by Wall. Michael Downs is coming on a blitz. It was the same play. That's something that Schrader will do. Come right back with the same thing.
That's what Joe Gibbs said last week. He said, let me do it again. But look, that's a true man-on-man. That's a true man-on-man. You see all the defense up here. They got 8 guys, and they're all coming on the blitz. You see the big pass rush. The Redskins pick him up. Schrader has time. But the only thing is, he doesn't get the ball to Monk. See what they bring all of them. See the pass rush, good pass protection. He gets a one-on-one he wants. Just didn't get it there.
From 50 yards out is Steve Cox, and he is wide left. Redskins now have missed 2 field goals and 1 extra point. And those things inevitably you hear about when the final score is final. 16-6 Dallas. That's next Saturday at 2:30 Eastern Time live. The 10th-ranked Iowa Hawkeyes against number 4 Michigan. Aiden Fry against Bo Schembechler. 2:30. Right now we're at Texas Stadium, where with 4:37 left, third quarter, Cowboys are up 16-6. Crosby out of bounds in front of the Cowboy bench. A gain of 8. Make it 9. Crosby's second, excuse me.
Right on that third down play that we looked at for the Redskins, we saw this, that the Redskins really had pretty good protection against the blitz. The Cowboys went on the all-out blitz, which leaves you man-to-man. Monk had won the play before, but Everson Walls won that one. That was great pass defense. He had Monk all over the field, guarded him, and knocked the ball down.
Second and short. 1. Newsom and Dorsett are behind Steve Pelluer. Now they move. Redskins showed us blitz. Newsom showed us Dallas first down. Olkowitz tripped him up. The Redskins are very proud, as is Joe Gibbs, as he should be, of the fact that they are 5-0 and the fact that they have not made many mistakes. But today, that has not been the case, and that's the primary reason they're behind.
Well, you know, they missed the field goals. Then those penalties were big ones. Remember, they had a couple of good kickoff returns that were called back.
Right. And,
of course, that big pass interference early in the game.
That's what got the Cowboys out of the hole early. Pelluer back to Dorsett. And he is hit down just outside the 45. A gain of only 1 by Charles Mann. The Bears 14-0 over Houston. St. Louis 23-7 over Tampa Bay, looking for their first victory. Cleveland and Atlanta. Boy, they have surprised a lot of people. 20-7 over the Rams.
See how they do that? You see how they get like a little blood on your elbow or something, then they rub it on their pants? Then it looks, tough game. I had blood all over me. Blood all over me.
Second and 9. Pelluer drops the throw. It's picked off by Barry Wilburn. Wilburn is down at the Dallas 40, and the Redskins will operate in good shape. Mike Sherrard was the intended receiver.
Yeah, they went to Wilburn. They went to the well one too many times. I'll tell you, that was a hook, and I think they waited a little too long, and Wilburn jumped on it.
3:01 is still being looked at, attended to on the Redskins sideline. He's got his left shoe off, and they're working on retaping his left foot. Redskin first down at the Dallas 40. 3:01 left in the third quarter. Handoff is to Griffin. Keith Griffin replacing Rogers. Hammers inside the Cowboy 30. A gain of 11. Eugene Lockhart finally tripped him up.
And I'll tell you, the guy that made the block is the center. Watch Bostic here, the center, block on Lockhart, get him going back so that the hole can open right behind him. I think Jeff Bostic is one of the best centers in the league. See him come out on Lockhart, fire out on fire on him, stay with him, and by the time Lockhart can get to it, they got a first down.
Griffin got 11. Schrader gives again to Griffin. He's to the 25. Jeff Rohr from the weak side. Made the stop after a gain of 4. Make it 2nd and 6. The Patriots coming back against the Jets. Steve Grogan is now their quarterback.
This is going to be a big year for backup quarterbacks the way the starters are going down.
Isn't that the truth? Second down and 6 Redskins. Less than 2 minutes left in the third quarter. They're at the Cowboy 25 with Monk in motion. Schrader back to throw. They're after him, and they got him. Eugene Lockhart was the first to arrive on the scene. Mike Hegman was there.
I think that's the thing that they did. You know, they were sitting back there, and they decided we'd better go after him.
Just look at that list of quarterbacks who have been injured this year, and as you said, backup quarterbacks are in the vogue at the moment.
Of course, we see there some of them been injured and coming back again.
The word on Rogers is that he has a sprained left ankle. Not sure if he'll be back. Monk goes in motion on 3rd and long. And they get after him again. Clark has a step. He had a step on Wall. Schrader had to hurry.
I'll tell you, that's the second one. He had Monk earlier here. Gary Clark is out here man-to-man on Everson Walls. And we see here he has him beaten by a couple of steps, and the ball is just outside his reach. You know, the Redskins have just been an inch off here and an inch off there all day. I think that's the type of thing that Clark, I've always thought you don't leave your feet on those things. You have to run through them.
Steve Cox is late getting out because he had to change shoes.
At 7.
We are back at Texas Stadium, where while we were gone on 3rd and 12, the touchdown pass from Pelluer to Mike Sherrard, and watch this catch.
Well, this was one that the ball goes up in the air. Darrell Green is a defender. Sherrard is a receiver. Now, you don't know who has the ball, but they ruled it a touchdown. They looked at instant replay. See the official there say touchdown. Instant replay looked at it, said inconclusive. So it's been a touchdown for the Cowboys.
And it's 23-6, Dallas leading. They just recovered a fumble on a kickoff, and Dallas has it first down at the Washington 25, and Newsom goes for a few. Newsom got 3. And here again is the fumble recovery on the kickoff by Vince Albritton. It was Tim Jenkins on the return, number 31.
There was a penalty on that play, and it was against the Redskins, so of course the Cowboys come up with the ball. You know, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen. Look at this, Pat. It's raining when you look at the thing, but it's coming through the hole in the roof, but then you look down in the field, and it doesn't look like it's getting down there.
It's just on the other side of the field.
I've never seen that.
I haven't either.
You know rain has to start and end someplace, but now we're seeing it right here.
Pelluer moves Dorsett now. The 30-second clock is down to 3. Pelluer gets the play done. And here they come after. shakes a tackler. Pelluer inside the 15 and out of bounds. And a flag is down. Tim Coffey finally got him out of bounds. He got 10 yards. But the flag is going to be against the Cowboys. Detroit beating Green Bay 21-7. Fourth quarter. The Saints over the Colts by 10. St. Louis 23-16 over the Buccaneers. Atlanta still surprising a lot of people, leading the Rams. Here it is 23-6. Dallas over Washington.
Push number 68, 10 yards, still second down.
A push is called against offensive right guard Crawford Kerr.
Crawford Kerr is used to pushing things. You know, he's the guy that gets in shape by pushing trucks. You know, like some guys push weight, some guys push away from the table. This guy turns the ignition off, gets behind and pushes a truck to get in shape.
Uphill.
Uphill. Now that's something.
He does not push away from the table.
If you push trucks uphill, you don't have to push away from the table.
Here comes Manley after Pelluer. He gets it out to Walker. Walker's got some blockers in front. Walker still on his feet. Walker around the corner, and he might get in. Herschel Walker at the goal line is down about a foot short. A gain of 27 out of what looked like it had to be a sack.
I'll tell you, the way Steve Pelluer is playing today, Danny White's going to have a tough time getting back. It was a great run by Herschel Walker. But watch what Pelluer has to do to get rid of the ball. Manley breaks free. Manley has him. He gets the ball off to Walker. Then, of course, you get the ball to this big guy in the open field. You know that it's a job to get him down. Look, he runs around, by and through Redskin tacklers, or would-be Redskin tacklers.
And a crushing block by Tom Rafferty. Got it all started. Newsom and Walker behind Pelluer. That's Crosby in motion. Walker, touchdown.
Herschel Walker to get the ball all the way down to the goal line. You just give it to him to get that touchdown. He deserves it.
He sort of just nudged it in.
Well, he went right in there between Glenn Titensur and Mark Duanay. I'll tell you, anyone that doesn't think that this guy is an NFL-type player really hasn't seen him play.
Well, we've seen him 2 weeks in a row. Last week, he was pretty well stifled. But today, it's been different. 10:26 left to play. It's the Cowboys on top, 30-6. Rings was thrown for a loss. And this produced perhaps the most emotion Dallas coach Tom Landry has ever displayed. Yelling, "No, no, Danny, no." Back at Texas Stadium one more time, and he hasn't said no too many times today. Cowboys lead 30-6. When the game started, it looked like the Redskins would chase them out of the stadium, and all of a sudden they escaped from deep in their own territory, scored a touchdown, and been all Dallas since then. And Jenkins at the 2. Jenkins hit by Carlton Jacks and knocked down after a return of 24.
Hey, you know, it's something when you see the Cowboys last week, and of course we know Danny White was injured, Steve Pelluer came in, and then to see him this week, they look like a different team. Like, you know,
totally.
Yeah, a totally different team. Like years have passed to get this way. And I know in talking to Paul Hackett yesterday, he said that he really feels so much more comfortable this week with Steve Pelluer, and Pelluer feels so much more comfortable, and it's showing today.
Rogers still on the bench. Keith Griffin in the Redskin backfield. Monk in motion. Schrader Everson Walls on the coverage. Here is the touchdown catch again by Sherrard.
I'll tell you, this is about as good a coverage as you can have. There's Darrell Green, the defender, and they did look at this. This is while we were away. They did look at this. They said it was inconclusive, but when you see it right there, that was an interception. Darrell Green had that ball. Of course, the officials didn't have that angle of it. They said it was inconclusive. The official on the play ruled touchdown.
10 minutes, 11 seconds left to play. 2nd and 10 Redskins from their own 26. Come on. Michael Downs on the tackle. That'll bring up a 3rd down situation after a gain of 5.
You know, Michael Downs was talking this week about why he doesn't get any publicity. He said he's from Dallas. His high schools never had him back. They never had a Michael Downs Day. And, you know, he's the leader of the defense now. They always talk about Everson Walls. And he was saying, what have I done? You know, it must be my personality, but I never get acknowledged for anything.
Well, he deserves it.
He sure does. He's been a solid player back there since he's been a free agent rookie.
On 3rd down. Raider gets it out to Clark. Beg your pardon, not Clark. Ricky Sanders. Sanders ready to start it upfield. Forgot to carry the ball.
Sanders was just activated today. I'll tell you, this is a frustrating day for Joe Gibbs and his staff because they've just been offensively out of sync all day. I mean, they haven't been able to put anything together. They've had some big plays, haven't been able to get them. The Cowboys defense has kept the pressure on them, and I think the Cowboy defense has kept them out of sync.
They've had a couple of guys open deep, and they just haven't been able to get the ball there. Either it's a blitz, or it's an overthrow, or whatever. Robert Levette back deep for Dallas. Steve Cox to kick. And it's a good high kick. Levette signals fair catch at the 20. Fumbles it. Dives back to about the 16, and he recovered. So at 9 minutes and 12 seconds left, Cowboys take over leading 30-6. Good punt by Cox.
Harry.
Looking down through the hole in the top of Texas Stadium. Watching the Cowboys lead the Redskins 30-6. That's where that rain that we couldn't see was coming through, I guess.
Could have come from the Goodyear blimp.
Possible.
And they just unplugged it, pulled the plug.
Cowboys have changed offensive tackles, by the way. It's Cooper and now Howard Richards at left tackle. They are the two that didn't start today after the long day in Denver last week. 1st and 10. Steve Pelluer. Gives to Newsom, and Newsom hammers straight ahead for 6 or 7. Calvin Daniels tripped him up. Dorsett getting a rest now, and Herschel Walker and Newsom are the 2 runners. Walker has 6 catches for 155 yards and 4 carries for 15 yards and 2 touchdowns. Newsom got 7, 2nd and 3. It's Newsom again. Not much there. Dexter Manley and Ken Coffey brought him down. A loss of 1.
You know, that's one of the things over the years. Dexter Manley has become a better run player. You know, when he said the longest day he ever had in his life was when he was a rookie playing down here against the Cowboys. He said Pat Donovan, the attack, did everything to him that could be done. He said it was embarrassing.
Interesting what Dexter was saying last night. I asked him what was the heaviest he'd ever been. He said 264. What do you weigh now? 257. And I feel a lot better. It's amazing what 7 pounds will do. Here's Pelluer. He fakes, and he's going to take off. And Pelluer slides. That should be enough for the 1st down Cowboys. Alvin Walton was the man who made sure he stayed down. A gain of 6.
You know, here it is. It's tough to play when you're down 30-6. But if you're one of those guys that turns on the motor and keeps it going all the way, that's the only way to play. You don't make decisions about what the score is, who's ahead, should you play or not. There's only one way to play. You just go out and play as hard as you can every play.
In the American League Championship Series, the Boston Red Sox lead California 2-0 in the bottom of the third. On first down, Pelluer is going to throw if he has time. He gets it out to Newsom, and Newsom breaks a tackle and steps out of bounds. Should be enough for a first. Gain of 11.
You know, it's obvious on this offense. We see Tom Landry giving a play to Danny White. Now, he and Al Levin are both signaled in. One is live, one's real, one's fake. See, so in case you're trying to steal the signal. But this guy, Pelluer, is really impressive. You know, I mean, he's a big guy, 6'4". He's been running, he's been throwing. He has poise, confidence. I'm really impressed with him.
Oh.
I mean, if he's not the Cowboy quarterback now, he's going to be the Cowboy quarterback in the future.
He impressed everybody last week. Denver chased him everywhere. Here's Walker. Left side for 3 or 4. Olkowitz on the stop. Here is Randy White, who played after pulling a hamstring last week.
Well, you know, there's that Bosworth, the linebacker from Oklahoma, after they lost to Miami, I read a quote that he said that you got to pull the truck out of the ditch. Meaning after you lose, you got to get back. I think Randy White would make that same guy. You know, I got a hamstring. We just lost to Denver. We got to pull the truck out of the ditch.
And he could do it by himself.
Even with a bad hamstring.
Here's Walker around the corner. Fumble, and the Redskins pick it up. Dean Hamill made the recovery. Darrell Green made the hit that caused the fumble. 30-6 Dallas over Washington with 6 minutes 12 seconds left to play. Taylor and company will be there. The Seahawks play good defense, as do the Giants, and they both believe you should run the ball.
I'll tell you, I've seen enough of them. I know when I was coaching, I hated to go to Seattle. I hated to play inside in that dome up there. You couldn't hear, you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. I don't think I ever won a game up there.
You know, John, and I've been doing NFL games for CBS for 25 years. I've never done a game in Seattle, a football game.
This will be a first next Sunday.
You'll show me where to go, right?
Yeah. Let's watch that fumble again. You know what happens? He's looking to the inside. Watch Darrell Green come from the outside and make the hit. See, he's looking inside right there. Darrell Green comes in low, hits him right on the knee, and pop, the ball pops out.
That's the way you must tackle Herschel Walker. Monk is man in motion. Schrader back to throw. Pass Monk. Monk dropped. Next Sunday, I beg your pardon, again, we will be in Seattle. This Sunday, we're in Dallas. And the Cowboys have been, after the first series of downs, pretty much in control.
Well, they have, and I think that the Redskins have become frustrated offensively. I mean, you don't see Art Monk drop a pass like that to Brady. Right. You're not going to see that.
Schrader back. Chased by Smirek. Chased by White. Down by Jeffcoat. 4 sacks on Jay Schrader.
Now that one there, Pat, is what I would call a coverage sack, if there's such a word. And we'll see what happens here. See, Schrader is going to roll out. Now, as he rolls out here, and we'll stop it, we'll see that there's no one open. We'll let him come all the way out to here, and we'll see him here in the rollout. Now, right now, he's ready to throw. But you can see that he doesn't have anyone open. Here's his other guy, but he can't throw back here. So there's no one open there. There's no one open on the outside. So then he had to scramble and scramble into a sack.
On 3rd and 12, Schrader again will go to the air. If again he has time. And he does. And he has fun. Out of bounds. Clark upset, fired the ball back at the official, and the flags come down.
That's going to be against Clark. He thought he had both feet inbounds. You see it's against that zone. He's working between the short guy and the deep guy. He has to have both feet down.
He didn't.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 84.
Now watch him when he throws it. We'll get it right here. Didn't have his feet inbounds. Thought he had his feet inbounds. And he gets up, sees the official saying no good, out of bounds, throws it at the official. Official wasn't ready to catch it, and the other official threw the flag, not the official that he threw him at.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was during the dead ball. It'll be 4th down. 4th.
You know, this is pretty close, though. I don't know. You know, he has to have control with both feet inbounds.
And he's got to have them both down, too. I'm not sure.
And, of course, the ball has to be inbound.
That's inconclusive, I think.
It was a heck of a catch, though. But anyway, he didn't get the catch, and he got a 15-yard penalty. And that's kind of been the type of day it's been for the Redskins. I'm sure the most surprised guy is Gary Clark, because he's one of those quiet, reserved type who never says anything.
I think the official was probably surprised when he threw the ball at him, too, don't you? Here's Cox. It's off a high kick to Levette at the 10. Shook away from one man and then retreated and was caught by Angelo Snipes, number 59.
You know what I wonder, what would have been interesting had the officials in the booth said that that was a legal catch. Then I wonder if they would have also taken the penalty away.
I doubt it. I don't see how they could. It was still unsportsmanlike conduct, which is what they call. That doesn't change that. Walton shaken up and being helped off the field now. Let's see if we can see how he got hurt.
Alvin Walton is one of those players that the Redskins feel is going to be one of their top players. He's only a rookie defensive back. We can see it, his knee got, I think, caught there and bent over. You see him grab his left knee.
And then someone fell on top of him after that. Pelluer. Gives to Herschel Walker. Walker hammers over the left side out to about the 13 or 14-yard line, stopped by Dave Butts, a gain of 4. This telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Dallas Cowboys and the National Football League is prohibited. Atlanta still beating Los Angeles. 2nd and 6. Cowboys operating from their own 13-yard line with 4:41 left to play. Walker again. Close to a first down before Rich Malott.
We'll go back and look at that Clark play again on the sideline. We see here the replay people did look at it and they said it was inconclusive. But he has the ball, and I don't know if both feet touched down or not.
It's hard to tell if his right foot got down or not.
Yeah. It looks like both toes are on it right there, though. Watch it at this angle.
I agree with
I think both toes are in, and he had the ball.
I agree with their judgment, however. It's inconclusive. Walker did get the first down on the previous play. That time he lost maybe a yard. Olkowitz again on the tackle.
You know, Walker plays so many positions here. They have that full house where he's the flanker. They have him where he plays wide receiver on either side. If he plays with Dorsett, he's the fullback. If he plays in Dorsett's place, of course, he's a tailback. And how he learns all that stuff, I'm not sure.
Well, I think that's another tribute to the man. For the fact that he hasn't been to training camp or didn't spend much time in training camp. The clock ran out. It took too much time. And the fact that he has been able to absorb all that.
Well, I think he's one of those guys that as a coach, you like to spend time with because he's so enthusiastic about it. You know, the coaches were telling us last week that, you know, he's there, he sits in the front row of every meeting. He writes down everything that's said. He gets there 10 minutes before the meeting starts. He's the first guy in the room. And when you got that type of attitude, and then, of course, that type of ability, that's the guy you like to coach.
All that, and he's 6'1" and 228.
And runs faster than most people in the world.
Pelluer retreats quickly. Steps up into the pocket, trying to buy some time. Gets it out to Mike Sherrard, and he's out of bounds by Barry Wilburn. Pelluer, I think, has more mobility than anybody thought he had.
He has more mobility than most quarterbacks in this league. And then the big thing is after he uses the mobility, he has a zip on the ball. And he throws the ball harder. I know we were talking last night about how it's taken the receivers a little time to adjust because, as you see there, he throws a harder ball than Danny White. He has more zip. And the receivers, they felt this week really got a better feel of Pelluer.
3rd and 4. Redskins coming on a blitz, and Walker coming on a draw play, and he will get close to first down yardage. Good call. Vernon Dean made the stop. Walker got 6.
Well, it was a good call because what they did is they're going to have the blitz here. They got the blitz here, and they just pop right through here. I think that the Redskins were expecting a pass. You see the blitzers come up. They're going to hit right up the middle. They get a trap. They trap the blitzer, and then that was all Walker needed to get through there for the first down. But that's not a bad play. You know, that's the old split 6 blitz where you blitz in the center guard gap, and a trap has always been a great play against that.
And we get the 2-minute notification with the Cowboys leading the Redskins 30-6. West couple saw him on 60 Minutes, and they went and got it. Following 60 Minutes, of course, it's Murder, She Wrote, starring Angela Lansbury, followed by the TV movie Circle of Violence, a family drama starring Tuesday Weld and Geraldine Fitzgerald. That's all coming up here tonight on CBS. Circumstance for that last first down.
Well, it was. You know, they had the blitz, and the trap was a good play. And I think they meant to block like this and then trap here. But they also pulled this guard. So the guards crossed against the blitz, and then they just got in there. But watch, both guards almost collide right there. Watch right there. There's all 3 of them. Then they come out, and the thing spots right there. Look at that. Boom! Look how that split open there.
I've never seen a play like that.
I don't think that one's in the playbook, but maybe it will be.
A fake to Walker. Pelluer is chased. Throws in the direction of Newsom. Just trying to get rid of it. Charles Mann was walking along with him. St. Louis won its first game for Gene Stallings. Cardinals and the Buccaneers now have the same record, 1-5. That's the final. Here it would appear as the way the standings will look. Redskins 5-1. The Giants, who play later, 4-1. Dallas moves to 4-2. Giants play Philadelphia. Eagles are 2-3, and the Cardinals now 1-5. They're down 7. Pelluer back to throw. Outside intended for Newsom, incomplete. No flags. They'll have to punt.
Well, then going into today's games, there were 3 undefeated teams, right?
Now there's 1 less.
Looks like the other 2, of course, being the Chicago Bears and the Denver Broncos.
And the Bears are in a struggle now with Houston. It's 14-7. 17-7 make it as Kevin Butler has just kicked the field goal with 9 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. So they might make it.
That's at Houston, isn't it?
Right.
That's a tough place for a team like the Bears to play.
Ken Jenkins back deep. Snap to Saxon. He gets picks off a good kick that doesn't quite turn over. Jenkins will fumble. Dallas has it. 38-yard punt. Manny Hendricks made the recovery. A guy who hasn't played football since high school. He's a basketball player, and he's going to keep that agate.
Hey, because he hasn't had one shaped like that before. As you said, he was a college basketball player. Cowboys signed him as a free agent. They said he has natural defensive instincts. That's not bad, but you know, you look at it from the Redskins side, and Joe Gibbs was saying that we're a blue-collar team. We just can't make mistakes. If we make mistakes, we can't win. And I think today they're proving their point.
Well, after the dismay last week in Denver, today the Cowboys have some happiness on their sideline. Let's go back and look at just what John Madden was talking about. The miscues that the Redskins have made today. 3 turnovers, 3 missed field goals, 5 penalties for 89 yards. And to top it all off, they missed an extra point.
And then I think even to top that off, they had some guys wide open like an Art Monk and Jay Schrader throwing it over his head. Now that'll cause guys like this to get that burning, you know, you get right above your belly button there.
Sometimes it gets below there. Here's Walker again. Herschel around the corner. Herschel gets down to about the 26. They're just trying to run it out now.
Of course, they played without Bill Bates today. They're starting strong safety. He had an ankle. I'll tell you, that Dallas offense was really something. Tom Landry's waving there. He's a lot happier, Tom Landry, today than he was yesterday.
He certainly is. He wasn't very happy yesterday. He started 2 new offensive tackles. He was, as you say, without Bill Bates. And they were buried right down close to their end zone at the start of the game. It looked like Washington would take over with its safety or perhaps in great field position, and all of a sudden they got out of there and wound up winning 30-6.
Well, you know, that whole team, that whole Cowboy team was a lot tighter yesterday, and even when Tom Landry says it's critical for us, you know he means it's a big one.
For John Madden, Pat.
This is a CBS News special report.
Would have been in the World Series days ago. Saberhagen, who took a beating. A shot off the heel. Upshaw's ball hit off his hand tonight, but that won't lessen the smile on that buoyant young man's face. Remember the juggling act by Jim Sundberg last night? He and Brett exchanged smiles after this one. And Sundberg, by the way, is tonight's MVP with his 4 RBIs, including the bases clearing triple. And light beer from Miller will send a check for $1,000 in the name of Jim Sundberg to help fight multiple sclerosis. Sheridan had only 3 hits in the series, but 2 of them were homers. This one, right over the Royals emblem in right field, made it 2-0 early in the ball game. And that is Sundberg's triple, hitting the top of the railing as Barfield looks around in confusion and disbelief. McRae was the first one to come across, the first of 3 Royals to score on that hit by Sundberg.
And to both the Royals and the Blue Jays organization, the managers Bobby Cox, Dick Hauser, and the players, thanks, fellas. Gave us a lot of thrills this year, and during this 7-game League Championship Series, you were both marvelous.
Remember the scene from Game 3 when Brett presented the ball for his first victory to Dick Hauser? What a touching scene that was. And on the other side, Dave Steve. So outstanding in his first 2 performances, but not quite up to it on 3 days rest tonight. Garth Orge. His brother Dane is going to the World Series in a Royals uniform. These young Blue Jays will be back. Tony Fernandez, destined for a career that will see him achieve all-star status many times. You can bet on that. the eyes of Bobby Cox. So close, so very close. Last play, Frank White, 6 times a Gold Glover, to Steve Balboni. And the Royals are on their way to the World Series. Good luck to Al Michaels, Jim Palmer, and Tim McCarver in their coverage for ABC. Congratulations to Dick Hauser and company.
A promotion has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. You're not just flying. You're flying the friendly skies.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by Hilton. Competition. It's what gives meaning to success. It's what makes Hilton America's business address.
This has NBC Sports, the leader in innovative sports television.
Sunday, Alfred Hitchcock presents a wife,
Yes.
a lover, a killer.
Dead.
Or is she? Hitchcock, Sunday.
The semi-annual furniture market is about to begin, and more people than you might think are getting prepared. A daycare center is cleared following a child neglect investigation. Billy McQueen is sentenced for the murder of a state highway patrol.
If an athlete doesn't get all his classes.
Night in the world. Teams apparently needed a travel day to make that 45-minute flight from St. Louis to Kansas City. The series is all on Missouri soil, but it came dangerously close to being played on foreign ground, Canadian to be exact. With more on this threat, reporting from somewhere in left field, here's Ian Scholes.
I knew we were supposed to think that America's back on its feet again. Old Glory's got a new shine to it. We've got a...
It's not going to help much.
Look at the men and women behind the music.
But to be realistic, you can't define 6 months in advance and know it. 3 months, maybe it's 2.
I thought I was.
In the classroom, not just #1 on the playing field. Robert Elliott, NBC News, Houston.
An abbreviated program tonight. I'm Tom Brokaw. Good night.
Thursday on Cheers, will Diane's blind date finally be Mr. Right or...
Jojo, the dog-faced boy?
And on Night Court, nudists hold a protest in Harry's office.
Hello, Your Honor.
If I'm not out in 5 minutes, give me half an hour.
Followed by Hill Street Blues, packed with enough drama and action to make it America's favorite.
Thursday.
A real silly price from 3 Guys. Ivory Liquid, the big 32-ounce bottle, only 95 cents.
The way you blew into town and looked all around, well, I knew right then that you were new. You looked so fine and you cut such a fine line that I knew what I had to do. So I'm keeping an eye on you. Keeping an eye on...
There's a new truck on the road. It's called Comanche. It's built by Jeep. It's worth a look.
Now at your Carolina AMC Jeep Renault dealers.
Eileen,
You know my name, handsome stranger.
I need my plaid shirt.
Look out below. What's going on?
It's not clean.
Sure it is.
Smell.
I thought it was clean.
How can you tell with a plaid?
With clean-smelling Gain. Gain gets out tough dirt you can see and odors you can't see. With Gain, there's more to clean than meets the eye.
Now this is clean.
With clean-smelling Gain, there's more to clean than meets the eye.
Wheel of Fortune, tonight at 7:30.
This is Jeopardy! Now entering the studio are today's contestants. A law student from Pico Rivera, California, Maria Mercado. An actor, originally from Snug Harbor, Rhode Island, John Galogli. And our returning champion, an engineer from Altadena, California, Keith West, whose cash winnings total $6,600. And now here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome again to a half hour of Trivia with a Twist. Answers and questions. I supply the former. These contestants are expected to come up with the correct questions. In the first round of play, remember, 1 daily double only to assist you in adding to your winnings. Good luck to all three of you. We'll put the board in motion, and we will begin the game. Interesting assortment of categories today. Let's look at them. American history, the library, double duty with the word double in quotation marks, whodunit, snakes, and finally, girls in song. Keith, a beautiful performance by you on our last show, Come From Behind, to earn the victory and the championship on Jeopardy.